Okay. Um, we're live right now, and I will be talking to my guest after this interlude. What up?
That's right. We're on live. We're gonna get this thing done one way or another. What's up to y'all?
Welcome. How y'all doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good.
Doing good, good. Well,
Fabulous.
fabulous. So, I like to say Happy Easter to y'all. If y'all do believe in such, how y'all Easter going?
It's
Okay.
going great.
We're celebrating the resurrection over
That's
here.
right. The
Okay.
resurrection. Say that, girl. Say that, girl.
The
But
resurrection.
anyway, before I go any further, I like to say, welcome to Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind. What else, Jennifer?
Stimulate your mind.
Ooh, and welcome all kinds. Today, I am fortunate enough to be in the midst of two females. But before I go further, I would like to welcome my PNC, and for those who don't know, that's Partners in Crime, from Jennifer's Open Book. Jennifer, what's up, Jennifer?
Hey.
That's how we get.
Hey.
Okay, anyway, today's topic. From sighted to unsighted, and y'all gonna enjoy this because this guest is very vibrant. She's very well spoken. She's uplifting, and she's a positive individual. Jennifer, she's from North Carolina. You got any friends in North Carolina, Jennifer?
I have family in North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, send a big shout out. Send a big shout out to your fans in North Carolina, right quick, while I turn my phone down because we all live. Anything can happen on this live. So say what up to your friends in North Carolina.
I'm saying what's up to my cousin. Hey, Donnell. What's going on, boo? Hey, check me out later. I'm making your cookies.
Okay. Okay. Cool. What kind of cookies you making?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Okay.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna post it on my channel.
Can you email me some?
I sure can. I can.
But Jennifer, speaking of Jennifer's open book, because we got to hurry and get to our guest because it's very exciting, and I want to definitely share her to the world. Tell us your motto because I gave mine earlier. What's your motto on your channel?
Jennifer's open book. We don't believe in filters. That means we can say whatever the hell we want.
It's an untamed gorilla. So, with that being said, y'all, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell in whatever order you desire. So, with that being said, we want to bring on your friend, and I guess she can be my friend just for the 15 minutes as we're going to be on here. Marcia. How you doing, Marcia?
I'm doing great, and I'm going to be your friend for more than 15 minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. All right, that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Okay, cool.
Really?
Marcia, tell the world, tell the audience, tell Jennifer and I, how long have you been totally blind?
Totally blind. It's been about 21, 22 years.
Okay. Hold on. Let me take a break right quick. Pamela, my girl from Pamela, let me see. Before I get on. She has a hair channel, Jennifer. She said she wants some cookies.
I got her.
Okay, she got you.
Y'all
Okay.
think I'm playing? I will mail. Well, when all of this is over.
Girl, you ain't gonna do
on
nothing.
everything. I mail people cookies. I mail my family cookies all the time.
Okay.
I be sending them through the post office box. Don't think I won't mail you some cookies for real.
Marcia, can you bake? Can you bake?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. Well, we heard about that fire that you created in North Carolina. They're still trying to put it out, but anyway, we're gonna talk about. You said you have been
Never.
you have been blind since the age of, say it again, 22. You said
No, I lost my sight when I was 21.
21.
Yes.
No, it's a struggle really real because I've heard people say losing their sight later on in life is a challenge. Is it really real? Is it a struggle, or is it this a little cliche that people say? You know about
I
when you.
won't necessarily say that it's a struggle, but it's something that you have to adapt and make changes and make it work for you.
Okay. So
You know,
have you been making it work for you?
of course,
Okay.
of course.
And Marcia, you're a mom, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Well, I've
How many,
always respected. I'm
how
sorry.
many kids? Sorry, 1 second. How many kids do you have?
I have four.
4 kids.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go. I'm sorry, Anthony. Go ahead. You want to
And
say
I just want to say I've always respected those who, and give props to those who lost their sight, those people who lost their sight later on in life, because I think that's more of a challenge than people like me. I lost my sight when I was minus 2 years old. So, I mean, hey, that's
Hmm.
a long time ago. So with that being said, Jennifer, won't you take it up and talk to her, ask her about her journey and how she went blind, and I'm gonna sit back and relax because I guess it's ladies' night, so handle your business, baby. Jennifer's open book along with third eye visions. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. Do your
so,
thing.
Marcia? What was the cause of your vision loss? That's my first question.
Okay, when I was about, I guess around the age of two, now my mom said when I was a baby that the drainage from my eyes would stick to my eyelashes and stuff, and she would always have to wipe that away. But around the age of two, they diagnosed me with glaucoma and cataracts and JRA arthritis. So that was the first process. I want to say at 7 and 8, the cataracts were removed. And around the age of 13, I went to the doctor, and that's when he asked me to read the letters at the end of the room. And I couldn't see the letters out of my right eye. And at that time, I had gone blind in that eye from the glaucoma. So that was the first part.
Okay, so you said that you lost your vision totally at 21. So what have you been doing since then? Did you look? What do you do? And when I say what
Right,
do you do, I mean as far as your like career goes, what do you do for a living?
right now, I am a backup director of first impressions, first thing in the mornings. And then the rest of the day, I pack eyeglasses in the optical department at my job.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
And you're a mother of four. Um, are you married?
Yes.
And I always say, I always say this all the time. Being blind don't stop no show. Is that your belief too? It
Oh,
don't stop
yeah, most
no show.
definitely. It doesn't stop anything. We can do whatever we want to.
And that's what I like about the fact that we are definitely showing people who are courageous, who are doing courageous feats, and just showing that, just because you're visually impaired or blind, it doesn't stop anything. So with that being said, why don't you tell us what transpired during your pregnancy that actually caused you to go blind? Because you shared it with me earlier, but I want you to share it with Pamela and the rest of the audience, as well as my sidekick, Jennifer.
Okay. I was in college, my last semester of college. I ended up getting pregnant, and 6.5 months into the pregnancy, um, well, actually, right after I finished, I graduated and everything. And 5 days after I graduated, I was home. I came home from church, and you know how we do, we eat, and we lay down and take a nap. And when I woke up, I couldn't see. So my parents were sitting at the table talking and drinking coffee, and I went around and I asked my dad whether or not he had to go work in the next city over where my eye doctor was located. And he told me, yeah. And he asked me why. And I said, because I can't see. I said, it looks like I'm looking through water. And I remember looking up at the cereal box and I could see the colors of the cereal box, but I could not read the writing anymore. So when I went to that doctor the next morning, that particular doctor told me that I had to go see a specialist. When I saw the specialist a couple of days later in Columbia, South Carolina, he told me that he could save my sight immediately. And I asked him how, basically what was going to happen to my unborn child,
Okay.
being that I was almost 7 months
Wait.
pregnant.
Stop right a second. You buffed. bit. While she gets back on track, because sometimes the internet may be acting up, we are going to ask her. Let her resume, but we are speaking with Marcia, and the title of the show again is "From Sighted to Unsighted," and she's in the process, along with my co-host Jennifer. She's in the process of telling her story in terms of how she had gone blind. Marcia, are you there with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, you can resume.
Okay. So, like I said, I went to the doctor in Columbia, and he told me that he could save my sight. And I asked him how was it going to affect my unborn child. And he told me that it was a 50-50 chance that he could come here retarded. And I told him with tears in my eyes that there was a 0% chance that he was going to come here retarded. So what happened, which I learned about later, the doctors never gave me a technical terminology of what the condition was called. I found out about that later, but the I had an amniotic fluid embolism, and that's where the water around my baby leaked into my body through my bloodstream, and it caused an infection in my left eye,
Mm,
the eye that I still have vision in. And I remember the doctor telling me before I left, he said the longer that I waited to get the surgery,
mm,
the more I was going to lose my sight. So when I left the office, my dad was holding me, and I was, of course, crying because I knew I had just graduated from college with my bachelor's of fine arts in communications, and I knew that my life was going to change.
mm.
Like the things that I had planned from graduating, now it's a whole nother direction that I was going to have to take, and I didn't know how I was going to travel down this particular highway.
Mm.
But as
And
we
those of
journey,
y'all who don't know, that's the sign of a true mother. She sacrificed her sight so that her baby can be born healthy. That is the sign of a true mother.
That's what I said when she told me. I was like, man.
Yes.
Mm,
yeah,
Yes.
that's a total sacrifice.
Because if I had the choice, I most definitely would have chose my baby. My baby's gonna be fine. I can do without
Yeah,
being able to see. So yeah,
right,
that's
right.
awesome.
mm,
Yeah. So for a long time, I'll say when everything first happened, it took me a minute to adjust because, of course, I won't tell anyone that I didn't go through a state of depression for a minute in trying to accept the changes. Because it's one thing being vision impaired because versus being totally blind.
mm.
And being vision impaired, I did everything for myself, even drove a little bit. But when you go from that to totally blind, it's like, wow.
Mm, mm. Now, I was typing in the process when you were speaking. Pardon me, but has that had any effect on on your child having this embryonic? Pardon me if I get it wrong. Embryonic fluid that caused you to go blind. Has that affected your son in any way, shape, or form?
Not the amniotic fluid embolism, that didn't affect him, but because of the fact that our problems run on my mother's side of the family, he does have our problems, but he has a driver license, he drives and everything. So, it was an up and down journey for him when he was smaller, but he's doing good.
Wow. Now, with that being said, do you have any advice for individuals who may have lost their sight later on in their lives due to something like this? Because this is my first time actually hearing about something of this magnitude causing a person to go blind. But these days, anything can happen. But I know it has strengthened you, and upon talking with you, you seem to be a strong person. What have you? I don't want to say learn, but what have you gained from this that you can take with you for the rest of your life that you can also share with others to give others advice?
Well, one thing that I would like to say before I respond to that is I remember two different occasions of being told about the amniotic fluid embolism. Um, One was at a doctor's appointment. The lady was a yearly checkup. She was drawing blood, and she asked me what happened, and I told the same story I just told you guys. And then when I went to one of the national conventions back in 2017, a nurse practitioner and I were in the pool together talking, and she said, Marcia, she said, you do understand that you should not be alive. She said, you neither your son should have made it. And I
Mm,
looked at her and I was like, the doctors never told me this part, but it opened my eyes. But then when I took the time, the beginning part of 2020, and I actually looked it up, and I saw how many women died along with their kids,
mm.
I was so like in awe. I was like, oh my God, like I know that I'm here for a reason. I know that my child is here for a reason. Nobody can't tell me no different. And nobody can't tell me that God didn't have his hands on me and my child during the entire pregnancy, because reading the text, I found out that they should have given me a C-section. But see,
I was gonna ask you that. Did they give you a
uh,
C-section?
my OBGYN, I never told them what the eye doctors told me. Like I never went in detail with them because of course I was young at that time. But
Mm-hmm.
going back and reading over everything that I've read, I should have received a C-section early on, but that didn't happen. And then they still could have saved my sight. But God allowed things to happen the way he lets it happen. And I mean, whatever and however he means for me to inspire and motivate people, that's what I'm going to do. And I try to do that with love. And I
And
try to,
did you have any complications with your other three children at all?
Yeah, that's a good question.
like I said, the vision problems run on my mama's side. So I do have two with the vision problems and the arthritis, but the other two, no, they're fine.
Okay.
So
And
Pamela,
with your
basically, it's just,
with your preg I'm sorry, with your pregnancy, you didn't have any
oh
complications,
no,
any
none,
problems?
none,
Okay.
no. All my pregnancies were normal. I mean, even that pregnancy was normal. It just, I just noticed a change in my vision.
well, before I go further, Pamela Coon, Natural Beauty, Naturally You, she is the one with the hair channel. She said you are a courageous woman. So I just want to throw that out and let you know
Thank
that.
you, Pamela. Thank you.
Now, my question,
Hi, Pamela. I love to see Pamela's comments. I'm sorry. Hi,
yeah,
Pam. I
she's one
like
of our
her.
big, she's big as we divert, but so anyway, hold that to later. Jennifer's open book, please. So with that being, was there any type of warning that this was about, what this was bound to happen in terms of the this embryonic fluid leaking into your I guess bloodstream or your body? Was there any type of
Actually, after reading text, it is normal, but what it is in some women like myself, during that particular pregnancy, my body was allergic to it. So it's almost like an allergic reaction to
Do
something.
you?
And in that case, it was the amniotic fluid from me, like I said, from me reading. But as far as you know, with the doctors and stuff, the eye doctor said, yeah, my vision would change a little bit during my pregnancy, but that was normal. But I knew when I saw that type of change, I was like, this is not normal. But
okay? I will be answering questions and asking them. Matthew Smith wanted to ask, do you have a website of your own or a YouTube channel? You can answer that.
I am about to start my YouTube channel. I do have an email address if anyone wants to be able to reach me. It's simply Marcia98 at gmail.com. Once again, that is SIMPLYMARCIA 98 at gmail.com.
Okay, let me write this in the comments. And Jennifer, if you want to ask us some questions right quick,
Actually, I
feel.
do want to ask you a question. So, are you a member of the NFB?
I am. I've been a
I
member
remember
since
we talked
2008.
we talked about. Do you do anything within that organization, like speak or anything?
I do. I used to be the event coordinator when we would go on different trips and stuff. And I would speak at some of the meetings and things like that. So that's one of my dreams, is to be able to go around the world, being able to speak and inspire and motivate and empower people, whether they're blind, disabled, or not. A message
Right.
is a message. So,
Okay.
We
Where
gonna tag team. Me and you, we gonna tag team one day.
Yes, ma'am.
Me,
We can do
we gonna
that.
tag team motivate people. We gonna do
That's
that.
right. That's right.
so I mean how does your kids you know approach you, or how do y'all work together, or is it any type of friction, the fact that you are visually impaired, or do they just assist you in whatever capacity that you know need help with?
Well, with my oldest, um, he's always been there. It was always automatic. But with the other kids, they all learned very at a very early age in how to help and assist me. Um, so it's like I still wash and do my girls' hair. Nothing changes. I mean, you do what you have to do. You just do it differently than blind.
Other techniques.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
when you have babies from the time when they're babies and they grow up, knowing that you can't see, they automatically help you with things. My daughter doesn't really understand fully that I can't see, but she does do things to help me without really thinking about it. She's
right.
starting to get. I went to the eye doctor the
Hmm.
other day, and she doesn't. He gave me some drops, and she's like, "Okay, are your eyes working now? Did he fix it? Like every
Yes,
did he fix it? Are they working?" And she'll watch me put on the eye drops, and she'll look at my. She get real close to my face, and she'll say, "Are they working? Are they?"
that's beautiful.
That's what my kids would say to it. My baby girl, she's like, "Mommy, why can't you see anymore?" I said, "Because I said this happened to me." I said, "I'm waiting on God to allow me to be able to see again because I can't say that I don't want to see my kids
Right,
because I do.
right.
You know, I
Be,
do."
before we move further, Matthew Smith wanted to ask you how long after the embolism did it take for you to lose your sight?
Let me see. I had my son in November when I gave birth to him by C-section. I could tell that his skin was light, his hair was dark, and his eyes were dark, and he was dressed in blue. Now I could tell that. So by January, when they did do the vitrectomy on my left eye and it did not work, um, I wasn't able to see colors like that anymore. I was able to still see light, like in the house, the artificial light.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to see that for a while. Then that gradually left. So the only light perception that I have is like if I go
Close
outside,
the
I
door.
can tell if it's sunny or I can tell if it's cloudy.
Right,
Um,
right now.
yeah, that's now. Yeah.
uh, hold on. P and M Adventures stated that you're amazing. You're amazing. This is an amazing story and whatnot. That's why I wanted to definitely bring you on when I heard it, so that you can share, because there are many ways that people can lose their
Mhm.
sight, different diseases, things of nature. But I have never heard of this. Have you heard of people losing their sight due to this, Jennifer?
No, this was my first time hearing it, and when she told me about it, I was like, "That is like truly a blessing that her and her son made it and everything." I know it's not a blessing that she can't see, but it's a blessing that they made it and they're healthy. So
Mhm.
yeah, I had never heard of that. I know my sister had when she was pregnant with my nephew, she had her amniotic fluid leaked. She had a rupture.
Wow.
So and we went to go, he was born like a month early. They sent her right to labor and delivery. We went to for ultrasound, and
Mhm.
the doctor was noticing, he kept saying the baby does not look happy, it's pretty dry in there. And she didn't understand
Wow.
what it was. She know that she had, she thought that it was just kind of a discharge. She wasn't thinking anything of it, but she was leaking amniotic fluid. And I don't, it sounded a little bit like what you were talking about, only
Mhm.
it wasn't. They, like I said, they sent her right to labor and delivery. So he was born the
Yeah.
next day after the doctor saw that. They weren't playing around.
And technically, that's
But
what I guess it should have happened to me, But reading, like I said, my organs should have shut down.
Wow.
yeah.
So to know that from July until November that my organs didn't shut down, um, that's a blessing. That's why I said nobody can't tell me
And
God isn't
that's
real
the
because
difference
I know
between an
He's
eye
real.
doctor, the
Well, I'm
difference between an eye doctor and a GYN. And I think that that doctor should, since they knew that you were pregnant, they probably should have sent you right to your GYN, told you to go and see
Right,
about that.
right,
They're just worried about your eyes. They're not even thinking about
right.
everything
right.
else.
That's
So
good.
yeah, and if some, if I would have went there and they would have told me that, I would have did the same thing you did and went home because I don't know anything about it.
Right. I mean, I was
I
20,
wouldn't
going
have thought
on
that me and my
21.
baby was in danger.
So it's like, okay, this is what it is, because I mean, I knew that I didn't want to take a chance of him coming here retarded and never being able to have an independent life. That would have been
So
so
I'm
selfish of
sorry. Did
me.
I already ask you? Are you married?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So okay. Look, look. I
Mm.
got chocolate on the brain. So yeah.
I admire you from everything. Like this coming from me, who was totally blind. I admire you from. I can feel the strength that you have. Look, I enjoy as we close. I enjoy associating with people who have this type of attitude. Though they've gone through some things, they've still remained positive. And even though it's hard because people you want to see, you wish to see after you lost your sight some period of time. But what I'm saying, it's better to accept it and move on and deal with it in the way that
Hmm.
you can. That's the best way and what have you. So
And
with that
I
being
enjoy talking to you. We were talking about doing our daughter's hair the other day and stuff like that. So I enjoy talking to other mothers because I only have one child, and I
Right.
always took care of other people's kids. But when you have your own child, it's a whole nother thing. So I like to hear other blind mothers and what they like, talk to other blind mothers and hear what they do, and to
Right.
take
real
care of
talk.
their kids and everything. And sometimes it helps me out. I do okay, but I
Hmm.
don't mind pointers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
it's good talking to you, and you really are inspiring. I think you're
Yep.
awesome.
Definitely. Definitely.
Well,
And I'm not
thank
just
you
saying it
guys.
on our show. You really are, man, for real, to go through that. And then, your kid, it was like you making a choice between your kid and you and when you made it happen for your kid. So, hey, that's real talk, though. So, with that being said,
Hmm.
Jennifer, as we close, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you? Marcia, you next, and then I'll close out. So, handle your
Okay.
business.
You
Jennifer.
can find me where I always am at Jennifer's Open Book, JINNERFER Open Book. Make sure you spell that name right so you can find me. I'm the only Jennifer who spelled their name like that. And you can also find me on Facebook under Jennifer Janelle, JINNERFER, JINNELLE. Friend me, inbox me, let me know if you want to talk about something on my channel. If you want to be on there and talk about something special, hit me up. Let me know. I got some really nice stuff coming up for you too.
Okay, cool. And Marcia.
Marcia, you can find me. My email address is simply marcia98 at gmail.com. That's SIMPLYMARCIA 98
Nah,
at gmail.com. And my Facebook is Marcia Pack Harton. That's MARCIAPACKHARTON.
okay, let me give it. Oh, Pamela, we love you too. That's one of our biggest supporters. We're gonna get. Let me write this down. What's your Facebook again, so I can put it in the comments.
Marcia,
Or CIA.
MARCIA. Yep. And Pack, PACK.
2 words.
It's a separate word. That's
P A
Pack.
C K.
Yeah. And then Harton, HARTON.
Is it RTON? Okay,
Yes.
Facebook.
Yes. And
Okay,
my YouTube channel is coming soon, you guys.
okay, cool. Well, once you get it up, you can contact Jennifer or me, and we'll definitely bring you back on. I'm quite sure you're gonna be working together with Jennifer because she is that
Oh,
girl
yeah.
that has a lot of
That
energy.
type of
Yeah,
person.
and she's doing
Yes.
some
Oh, yeah.
things.
Yes.
So, with that being said, you can find me at Third Eye Visions. Anytime you want to holler at me, I'm at Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm just everywhere. If you can't get in touch with me, Jennifer knows me. Knows how to get in touch with me. She has my phone number, whatever. But I just want to bring y'all these inspiring females who are doing things, blind people who are doing things, and I want to get your story from sighted to unsighted. And I appreciate you blessing Jennifer and I from your story with your story. So with that being said, because it's about to rain and cats and dogs, and I got one more beer left, and I'm about to go chill out and everything. What y'all got lined up?
To relax.
Mm. What about you,
Yeah,
Jennifer?
I'm about to go. I'm going to eat and I'm going to bake these cookies and like nothing. It stopped raining here. I think the sun is shining now, so I'll probably go sit on
Sun
the
is
yard
shining.
or
There's
because
plenty of rain. Hey, so Jennifer, are you going to
it was storming.
are you gonna have somebody film that for you, please?
Yeah, my mom's gonna do it for me.
Oh, I got so I can.
That's what I'm over her house right now,
Okay, hey,
so she's gonna film
Awesome.
so can I? You know what? You know we already discussed, right? Can I use that
about.
video?
Oh yeah, you can use it.
She thought it was something else because she's the one that does doing it in the dark, y'all. She talks dirty at the dark in the dark or whatever. So her mind was probably going somewhere else.
So when did we do? We did the last one last month, right?
Yeah, that was the threesome that you had doing it in
Okay,
the.
so yeah, so no, it was an orgy because it was
Oh,
like four of us.
I
So
haven't
anyway,
mine yet.
so
But
you guys
anyway,
stay
we're
tuned.
not gonna give them any more of that.
She brought it up at the end of this month. We got one coming up, so y'all stay tuned for
Okay, so Marcia,
that.
you may want to be a part of her threesome or whatever it is. So hey,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
she's yeah, like no problem at all. But this is
Okay.
what it is, y'all. Third Eye Visions, open book, Jennifer open book, and hopefully soon, whenever she gets her thing together, simply Marcia. Anybody want to participate, want to be a part of this whole situation? Holler at me. I was about to say go the ghetto route, but holler at me, mess with me, kick me up. You know, say, Jennifer, you know what I'm about to say.
I know what you was about to say.
Yeah,
Oh,
please.
boy.
My show we don't have filters. You have filters on yours.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come to your show and say what I was supposed to have been saying. Hey y'all, it's been lovely. It's been nice, and I gotta say it twice. I appreciate being in the company of two individuals who are very smart, bright. Thanks for Pamela Coon, Natural Beauty, Natural You, and PNM Adventures, and oh god, my mind is messed up. Everybody else who,
Mark was that Mark Matthew or
yeah,
was
Matthew.
it
Matthew. Matthew.
That's why I messed because she hold me down.
biblical?
So, we're live. Appreciate you all. I don't want to filibuster. I'm about to be out. Anything else?
The only other thing I
No.
would like to say before you hang up is that some of the things that I would like to do since I'm blind, I want to be in movies and commercials and author of books and other projects. So
Okay. So hey, Jennifer, maybe that video might help. She wants to be on the video, so that threesome deal might work, huh?
You better cut it out.
yes,
That-
please cut it out,
you know,
please,
hey,
please.
Cut it
the
out.
first blind porno star or something like that. I mean, hey, gotta
No,
make
cut
money.
Never,
it
Gotta
out.
make money in it. Kind of
Okay,
never.
so
from
y'all
sighted.
know in real life we don't do porn. We just have grown up conversations. Don't listen to Anthony.
Please don't listen to
He
him.
gonna
Oh
get
my
somebody's
God.
channel taken off of YouTube. They gonna be like, nope, that's coming down.
They're gonna probably watch it first, then they're gonna take it down. Like, damn, that was good.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, hey, y'all be cool. About to get up out here and get these things together. And anytime you want to hit me up, y'all hit me up. I'm out. Oh my god, man, they shooting